Good morning. I have been in this bed most of the morning drinking my cup of French vanilla coffee and watching it rain. It's been the most peaceful thing ever, and now I feel all like rested and everything. So now, since this window lighting is here despite the rain, it's time to record a main channel video. Hey guys, and once again, thank you for joining me. I will be posting every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this month of May at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying these vlogs so far, and once again, feel free to leave any video suggestions down below for videos that you would like to see, maybe later on this month of May or for future videos. As you can tell by the title, you guys know what this is about, and you think you've seen it all. You think there's no way this could get any weirder, and then something else crazy happens. The airplane bathroom situation is one that to this day I'm still just like what's going on here? I really don't get it. I've made a little list on my phone of some things. I experienced half of these things on my last trip, so I was just like, I guess this is just a thing. The first one is, I never understand why is it that people come on the plane and then rush to get to the bathroom. And it's just like, in my head I'm like, okay, well maybe they had a tight connection, maybe they hurry up and got to the gate and then realized the flight was boarding and they didn't have time. There are literally bathrooms everywhere inside of the terminals of each and every airport, outside of security, inside of security, and I'm just like, why did you rush to get to this porta potty on this plane? And sometimes I'll think, okay, you know what, they had something going on, they couldn't get to a regular bathroom. But there are instances where I've been sitting outside of the gate waiting for the flight to deplane because maybe the plane came in early or whatever else, and I've seen those same passengers that were sitting out there sitting around waiting same time I was, get on the plane and go to the bathroom. And I'm just like, okay, I guess if you want to use the porta potty in the sky, go for it. But I'm amazed at the amount of people that are like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? Like, is it okay for me to go now while we're just sitting or boarding or whatever? And then the same people are like fighting their way to get back up to their seat because boarding is such a crazy process, and it's so much harder to go up and swim upstream than it is to just wait for everybody to finish or try to duck and dodge in between seats. And I'll just watch and just think, okay, I mean, hey, I guess. Another thing is the struggle to open the bathroom door and ignoring the signs that say push, pull, I don't know, seeing that handle that's there. The amount of times I've stood there, because I don't ask, or like I don't always give help if it's just so common sense and if it's just so obvious and it's an adult. If it's a kid, if it's an elderly person, I'm always like, oh no, it says push, it says pull, because you know, people come on the planes and they're not used to it. But sometimes I'll stand there and I'll watch, you know, people my age, people a little bit older than me, and they're just like, oh, they'll stand there, there's a giant thing that says push, that says pull, and the first thing that they will do is reach for the little cigarette holder, pull it off, or like they'll just stand there and they'll just be like doing a little mime thing, like, how do I get this open? And I'm just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Push, pull. And then you'll tell them, oh, just push where it says push, just push. They'll be like, oh, thank you. And it's like, you're so welcome. I just find that so funny because it's like, are you thanking me for helping you read, or like, what is this? And I mean, I don't mean to be like sassy or like mean, but all flight attendants think this. We just stand there sometimes and we're like, okay. Oh my goodness, I have been in the middle of the service, like out there slinging drinks, Diet Cokes everywhere, hot teas everywhere, and then I've had some passenger come up behind me and like pat me on the shoulder urgently, this look of despair on their face, only to tell me, oh, we're out of toilet tissue paper in the bathroom. And to be fair, there is toilet tissue paper, there are tissue like to blow your nose and stuff, and then there are also paper towels. Now across the board. Toilet tissue paper, we use that to wipe. Tissue paper, we blow our nose. Paper towels, we use that to dry our hands off. But if you're in the bathroom and you see that one runs out, you would just, by default, you just use the other. Sometimes we do run out of like cleaning supplies to restock on flights. It does happen, and I'm just always like, you know, you could, they'll come out. I've had passengers come out hands dripping, like, we're out of toilet tissue paper, what do you want me to do? And I'm just like, do you see that all the other paper products that you have, you could maybe use that instead? And like, more times than not, I'll usually try to go in the back and find galley wipes or something to give them, or try to restock it if possible. But I'm always just like, you know, it's not that big of a deal to use another paper product. But you know, hey, to each his own, I guess. I'm just here to do my job. It's fine, no big deal. This is the one. This, out of all of them, is like the killer. The smells that come out of the bathrooms sometimes. And it's like, this can be before passengers even get there. I mean, you think you smelt it all, and then you get a whiff of something and you're just like, oh, what was that? I've come onto planes empty, like, mind you, no passengers whatsoever, just planes that need to be cleaned, serviced, the labs need to be serviced, whatever. And like, you open the door just because I'm like, oh, let me just go in the bathroom and make sure my lipstick's not smudged, whatever. And then you just get this whiff of powerful, oh, I don't even know a word to describe it, and it's just nauseating. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I cannot. First of all, like I said earlier, these are essentially port bodies that we're toting around, and all kinds of weird things go on in the bathroom. I mean, no one knows what passengers or even crew members do in there. Once you're in there, hey, who knows? But it's just like the smell. I always keep spray, hand sanitizer, and lotion, all three scented, as well as like perfume. But sometimes I found that whenever you go in and you spray, it just makes it worse. A lot of times people will put coffee bags inside, like open coffee, ground coffee bags inside of the planes bathrooms, because they say that that absorbs the smell. And I mean, I have found this to be hit or miss. Like, sometimes it kind of does help, but more times than not, it's just a nauseating smell of ground coffee and the bathroom stench. So I never really put coffee bags in there because I don't feel like it really helps that much. But yeah, the smells. And then once we get up on the plane, there are those people that go in the bathroom and blow it up. You know what I mean. And obviously, I mean, we're humans, we're people, let's be mature about this. Sometimes it's instances that they can't help it. Sometimes it's kids, you know, whatever else. But I'm just like, if I knew, I mean, I don't do that ever, and everything that comes out of every orifices of my body looks like rainbows and glitters and sunshine and butterflies. But it's just like, if for some reason I had like a situation, and y'all know what I mean, I'm loaded up spray, like nothing, I'm not doing that to the people. And then in the tail gun sometimes it'll happen, and then it just starts drifting forward, and all the passengers in the back rows are like, oh, oh. People, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on in there. I'm so sorry, but I'll always try to pull out some spray and do damage control. And then there will be that moment where the door finally opens and you see the person walking out, and then sometimes it's not who you expect. Like, some of these little tiny people are just this sweet, innocent looking ones. You're like, whoa, what did you do in there? This seems so immature, but I mean, honestly, we all think it. Okay, every now and then we'll have situations where with a sink and it's not draining properly because there is a little nozzle, and it's pretty obvious, just where you push it for the water to come out. But people don't know that there's also a drain, because sometimes the drain won't just automatically be open. You'll have to push that down in order to let the water come out of the sink. So they'll come in there and they'll be using the sink continuously over and over and over again, and no one's pushed the drain. And then that person will walk in and be like, the sink, it's overflowing, what do I do? And I'm just like, okay, it's fine, drain. But I don't know, I've also seen people, like, once they dry their hands, the little pieces of tissue paper or like, to, you know, whatever, it will go in the sink and then it will stop up the drain. So I'm just like, the same maintenance and things that you would do with your bathroom at home, you would do on a bathroom on a plane. But this concept is, it's foreign to some. A lot of times people will put trash in places that it does not go. Like, there's a little flap more times than not. Not all planes do have this. I have seen some where it can be kind of confusing, but there will be a little flap that says trash, and you will find trash in the sink. You will find trash on the floor. You will find it behind the flap of the toilet. You will find it just in the toilet, not flushed. You will find it in any little section that they think, let's stuff it here. You will find trash there. I've opened up like little latches to go get the bags that if you need to like throw up or something like that in, and then find all this trash stuff down in there. And I mean, it will be little sections where I'm like, why did you think that this is where the trash would go? Now, to be fair, the trash bins on planes are very small. Planes on bathrooms are very small, so I'm just like, okay, you're in a really tight situation, you know, maybe it was just really confusing, but you will find trash all over the place. Another thing is, we'll be doing the service, ding, call light will go. If we're looking around in the aisles, we're not seeing where a light pushed. Oh wait, someone pushed it inside of the bathrooms, because yes, there are call lights in the bathrooms for emergency situations, or things can go wrong in the bathroom, so there is a light available in there as well. And so sometimes I'll hear it ding ding ding. I'm like, they just keep pushing it because they're looking for the button that says flush, and they have found the call light button. And now, to be fair, once again, there are some planes I've been on where I'm like, okay, I can see why you could think that would be the button where you push to flush, but more times than not, there are little latches that look just like the ones on toilets, or there will be giant signs that say flush here, push to flush, and it's just like, I don't know what that means. It's fine. Had this happen on my last flight, and it was an Airbus plane, and it was an unremodeled one, so I'm like, maybe that had something to do with it. But there was water everywhere, like water, not in the sink, all over the floor, literally just water everywhere. And that's one of those situations where I'm like, where did this water come from? Because this is inside of the bathroom, and the toilet has been flushed, and nothing looks like it's leaking, and there's just water all over the floor. Now, I have seen this happen on several planes, so I'm like, this isn't just like a passenger went in there and peed all over the floor or spilled their water inside of the stall or anything. I'm just like, this water is leaking or coming from somewhere, and it is scary. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna wait till I get to a normal bathroom, because I'm not, what is this? Like, I need a mop. And like, sometimes the cleaners will come on board and we'll start apologizing already, because we're like, we don't know what happened in the bathroom, we're so sorry, but it's too much going on in there. And this brings me to another point. I have seen people, oh my gosh, just thinking about this like makes me cringe. I have seen people, kids, adults, elderly people, middle-aged people, every kind of person, parents with their children, walk into the airplane bathrooms barefooted, y'all, barefooted. Now, I mean, to each his own. I know West Coast livers, people on the West Coast sometimes are really like, oh, you know, they're always barefoot. At home in the country, I get it, I'm always barefoot, but in a bathroom, I'm just like, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I always will, like, if I see it, I'm like, oh, maybe you should put your shoes on. Where are your shoes? Like, I will ask politely, yes, but I'm just like, oh, you might not want to go in there without your shoes on. You might not want to take your kid in there without his shoes on. And people will be like, oh, it's fine, it's no big deal, whatever, like, oh, it's okay. And I'm just like, not okay, don't do it, like, just don't do it, don't do that. Okay, now this doesn't happen too often, but I have seen it happen. People will go in the bathroom and they will be in there for so long, and it's like past the point of where, like, I get sometimes people go in the bathroom if they're feeling nauseous or if they're sick or, you know, whatever, but I mean, there's been situations where people have just been in the bathroom 20 minutes and we're like knocking, like, are you okay? Do you need anything? Yeah, I'm fine. And so it's just like, that's one of those situations where I kind of don't really know what to do other than just check on them and make sure they're okay. I did have one instance where a guy was sitting next to a passenger and they just could not get along or something, and he was like, I'm gonna lock myself in the bathroom. And he went in there, and at one point we were just like, oh, you know, maybe he was kidding. He really tried to stay in there half the flight, and so we had to get him out of there. We were like, okay, sir, you need to come out, you need to take your seat, because the line was building up and he was just staying in there. And I mean, he ended up falling asleep in the seat anyway, so it ended up being okay. But I was just like, why would you want to lock yourself inside of the bathroom? Like, I don't know, I don't know, people do it. Okay, people will go in the bathroom. This I see happen often, and if it's a kid, you know, I kind of get it, but people will real deal like just go in the bathroom and not flush the toilet, like make no attempt to flush, make no attempt to maybe accidentally push the call light and just not find the button. Like, they'll just go in there and just leave it. Now, this is a porta potty in the sky, but I know porta potties like on the ground they're just like big open, you know, bowls where you just drop it and go. But a bathroom has a place where they flush it. So in my head I'm like, maybe they don't know that there is a flush button, but there is, you guys. So if you ever go into an airplane bathroom, flush the toilet, just flush the toilet. And the last thing, and probably the most heartbreaking thing, oh my gosh, I actually heard a story about this at Velvet, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. And people, this happens, and this, oh, I feel so bad. People go in the bathroom and maybe they'll have their phone in their pocket, maybe they'll have something, and it will drop in the toilet. Now, phone is heavy enough to where it would probably go through the little flap and fall in there. There have been situations where wedding rings have been dropped inside the toilet. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, okay, now I've never had a flight where someone dropped something in the toilet and notified me of it, but it has happened. We had a guy, a lady who went in the toilet, was changing her kid or something, realized halfway through the flight that she could not find her wedding ring, y'all. And so ripping up the plane once we land, looking everywhere for it, thinking, okay, maybe, are you sure that you had it when you walked on? She knew that she probably dropped it in the toilet. She was like, that's the only time where I remember it being on, you know, vaguely, and then afterwards I can't, like, if it had dropped it out on the seat, you know, maybe even worst case scenario, we're thinking, did someone take it? Like, no. She was like, I'm pretty sure it was dropped in the toilet. So what they had to do is, once they landed, that the family apologized about it, wrote a letter saying, you know, we think that this might have happened, notified someone, thinking that they were never going to see that ring again, but just letting them know there is a chance that it is in there. And they didn't think that they were ever going to get it back. Maintenance, whenever they got to the base, went in there. They went and cleaned it, and I don't really know how that works with the tanks and stuff, and what kind of system it is to find it, but someone had to go in there and they found the ring, y'all. They found the ring, and I was just like, whoever that tech ops or maintenance person was that went above and beyond to go in there and find that, I mean, hats off to you. Like, that is above and beyond your job description, or like, just, and then a wedding ring would be so small too, so that would be something I would imagine, like digging through that to find a wedding ring. Oh my gosh. But it does happen. People drop things in the toilet. A phone I have heard of dropping as well, and it was a crew member who dropped it in there, and they asked for it to be recovered. And I don't really know if, once you drop a phone in like liquid, how long, I know you can soak it in rice, that type of thing, but if this phone fell in a toilet on a plane, bloop, getting another one. I'm sorry, my pictures would be gone, my videos would be gone, I would be devastated, but I would have to have a new phone. Like, I'm not doing it. But yeah, that's kind of my summary of airplane bathrooms. And this was kind of a random video, but I just thought it would be a funny topic to put up. And I know some people will probably be in the comments like, oh, why would you say that? Or why would you put this that way? But I mean, you know, just to lighten the mood, I felt like, why not? Why won't we discuss airplane bathrooms? But thank you guys once again for joining me. I do appreciate all of the comments and the support. You can follow me on all of my social media, and everything that I can think of to link in the description box, I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.